Hey everyone, Blockchain Bernie here with my latest episode about a symbiosis between AI and blockchain. Can there be a symbiosis? Do we need such a symbiosis? That's what we're going to talk about today in this video, and I'll give you a lot of background, so make sure you watch this video all the way through the end. Also, if you want to learn a little bit more about the fundamentals and what risks actually AI poses and how we can mitigate these risks with blockchain, make sure to watch my other video right here about the real risks of AI. All right, so the real risks of AI are centralization, right? And also kind of authentication and making sure something's authentic, right? So with AI, especially with generative AI, that is so popular these days, with texts, with videos, with pictures, with anything, we don't know, is it genuine or is it what's called a deep fake, right? And and we want to know that. And that's where blockchain comes into play, right? So with blockchain, we have that authentication. If you own a blockchain account on a smart contract chain and you sign transactions, then it's absolutely provable that you were the one that posted that. And then if blockchain gets a storage layer, then even we can prove that, the data that is stored there is exactly the one that we wanted it to be from the beginning, and it has not been tampered with, and all these sorts of guarantees, right? That's why I'm working with my own project called Bitoku. I'm working on getting a storage layer for smart contract blockchains so that we can actually do that and push decentralization forward. If you haven't heard of Bitoku, please check the link in the description, bitoku.io. Very interesting project. There's a light paper on our website, so you can read everything about it. So what does that mean, right? So we have something out there that we don't know. Is it a deep fake or stuff like that? Obviously, if it lives on the blockchain, and what we cannot do on the blockchain, at least not as of now, is really prove that it was some human that actually did this transaction or posted that or created that video, because it's all computers that do the things on the blockchain, right? So we cannot tell, is it really this and that physical person with their fingerprint or, iris scan or whatever it is. This might be possible also in the future, but in the end, it's all computers and it's accounts, right? But we can prove that these accounts are genuine, and then the account can have some reputation, right? The account could be this and that old, and we can have this and that many other people that, approve their opinion and their trustworthiness and things like that, right? If we do that all, you could say, okay, we can do that on eBay or on Twitter, right? But these are all centralized systems, right? So if Elon Musk wants to, manipulate these ratings, he can do so anytime. And, we can have different opinions if he would or would not, but he could, right? And anything can happen to him, and, he can have some mental illness suddenly that he didn't have before, and he has centralized control. And the same would be true for eBay, where that was the first thing for me where I learned about these rating systems, right, where buyers and sellers are being rated. These days also Uber drivers as well as Uber riders are being rated by each other. And but blockchain can authenticate that, and it can decentralize it, right? So these rating systems on centralized systems as we have them today, they can be manipulated by one centralized instance, by one centralized organization. And we don't want that, right? So that's where blockchain can actually help. And now if it's about larger artifacts, right, like texts, you know, small or large texts, and then images and videos and stuff like that, we need storage for that, right? And the current smart contract blockchains, they cannot really store a lot of data. That's a problem, and I'm proud to be working on solving that problem with my project Bitoku that I talked about, adding that storage layer, blockchain-based storage layer to smart contracts. So with all that, we can mitigate the centralization problem that AI currently has, and the centralization problem is really bad with AI currently, because not only is it centralized organizations that do AI, it's basically one organization named OpenAI that controls very much a large percentage of the AI space these days. So there's a lot of centralization out there, and we can mitigate that centralization with decentralization coming from blockchain. And yeah, please, let that sink in, so to speak. And it is so important to, have a foil for AI, which is blockchain, and vice versa, so that we don't allow things running out of control, right? We need that decentralization and that check and balance in order to move forward, and in order to mitigate the substantial risks that are out there for AI. All right, so that's my view on things. If you like videos like these, please don't forget to give me a like. It's really important. Please do it, and also subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.